You're listening to The Moose and the Loose, your 10 minutes action-packed financial podcast with your host, Mike Yahoo. Hey, what's up, Market Moose? This is Mike from The Moose on the Loose. Welcome to this Business Friday edition where I'm going to tell you how things could turn sour quickly for an entrepreneur. And most importantly, what to do when you have to just deal with problems, right? So just to give you a little bit of context here, the one of the way that we grow Dividend Stocks Rock for many years now, and has been like quite a success story so far. And one of the process is to provide a lot of free content. So free content like the Moose on the Loose from like the Dividend Guy podcast. We have blogs on more Moose Markets, Dividend Monk, the Dividend Guy blog, and also our YouTube video. And then we also tweet from time to time. So all of those things are activities that I create, where I create content, where I'm trying to help investors in many ways, providing high quality content, and most importantly, building trust. Because, you're not going to buy anything from me if you don't trust me, if you don't think that I can help you achieve your goals, right? It is, when you run a business, you have to create a win-win situation where the win on your side is obvious. You're getting money from a service or a product that you're selling, so that's great. But you must ensure that the other party, so the customer, is also winning. If not, you're just going to burn a lot of bridges and you're not going to make a lot of money over the long run. So my goal here is always to provide you with interesting stuff, value-packed information with actionable some content, so you can improve your investment process, you can gain more conviction, you can save some time, and that's pretty much the idea. So once you have this flywheel going, you build more audience, more people that listen to you, that follows you, and eventually they go into your newsletter, because that's how we can entertain that relationship. I can give you more stuff, more freebies, and seriously, if you haven't registered to my newsletter, you pretty much get the sense that you should, right? So you can go on moosemarkets.com/newsletters, or you can find that on the Dividend Guy blog, or download the Rockstar list at moosemarkets.com/rockstar. There's so many ways to subscribe to the newsletter. But the point being is, when we do webinars, we invite our people on our newsletters to join us for a live presentation. So I do a live presentation from maybe 5-6 times a year, where I do 1 hour presentation on a specific topic. Last week was the buy and sell struggle. So I provided a lot of my tricks to cut down the noise, avoid dilemmas, and have a clear process so I can actually buy and sell stocks without getting stuck by thinking about it forever and not moving. So actually, you can watch the webinar replay and watch the major problem that I faced if you go on moosemarkets.com/webinar. And as you can imagine, after the webinar, there's an offer, so I can invite the audience to subscribe to Dividend Stocks Rock. So the process is quite simple. You create content, you gain trust, you get more following, and then those people subscribe to your newsletter, you invite them to a webinar, and then you offer them DSR as a great service to improve their portfolio. So that's all great, right? But it has to work. So during that webinar, around, after 15, 20 minutes, I was on fire. I felt good. I really enjoyed doing that presentation. I was on top of things, and then boom, the system kicked me out. The webinar platform I used literally kicked me out. And when I was trying to get back in, the system was saying, well, you're already logged in. You're already in the presentation. So we cannot let you in again. You're already there, which was not true. So there was a connection problem. And unfortunately, on top of having me trying to restart my computer, going back took me 3-4 minutes to get back in. But most importantly, a lot of investors could not watch the live presentation because they were experiencing the same problem on their end. So they tried to log in, were not able to do it. The system did not recognize them or recognize them twice. So anyways, major problem here, to not use other words that were flying in through my head while it was happening. So when this kind of problem happens, what do? Well, first, you have to keep calm, right? There's no point of panicking. The system doesn't work. So you have to accept it and then try to find solutions. So one of the solutions that is always come handy here in the meantime that I find a real solution is I have Vero. Vero is my second brain. She has been working with me for 13 years now. Incredible person, and she's always in the chat helping me with the webinar. So that came in handy because she was quickly able to call me first to ensure that I know that I was talking for nothing. So I already knew that, but she wanted to make sure that I was not like thinking that everything was going well. And at the same time, she was able to tell people live what was going on my side. So that kept most attendees still in the webinar for those 2, 3, maybe 4 very long minutes where nothing happened, which was quite upsetting for everyone, even for attendees and on my side as well. But still, thanks to Vero, I was able to keep most people there. So the first thing was to stay calm. The second one was to accept what the situation was. And then it was to focus on what you have under control. What I had under control was the fact that I could restart my computer, open multiple browsers, trying to find a solution, which happened within a few minutes, and then keep my calm and my smile. Because it was not anybody's fault in that presentation that went wrong. So there was like no point of trying to say for like 10 minutes how sorry I am or how it sucks or how the technology doesn't work. I mean, I quickly said, you know what, guys, I'm sorry. I'm back on track. Let's move on with the presentation. And that kept me going. And of course, at the end of that webinar, I was upset. I sent an email that was like not super kind to the webinar platform because of course, the fact that attendees could not log in, I had less people came in and it was harder to get the value because I was a little bit thrown off my game, but overall I did okay, but it cost me money. Like it probably cost me a few $1,000s of like sales that I'm not going to make on spot because I kind of like missed that opportunity to connect with investors. So the major point here is to keep a long-term mindset. Unfortunately, that didn't work out this time, but my entire process is not just doing one webinar a year, right? So I had like multiple content creation flywheels that are driving more like tools, contents, and helpful stuff to investors, driving more people to my newsletter, and then doing more webinars and sending more emails. So overall, it was not a huge catastrophe because I have built an entire system around it. And I know that it's not the only time that I'll be selling or offering my service at DSR to my audience. To be honest, if that had happened to me 5 years ago, I would have freaked out because I did not have that experience, and I would have been upset because I would rely a lot more on those sales to actually literally pay my mortgage at the end of the month. Right now, it's not the end of the world, and then I made sure that whatever happened with the webinar platform, they were super kind, super fast to answer. They were like very like comprehensive as well, and they found the problem, they fixed it. So I know that next time I will run a webinar, it's gonna run smoothly. And to be fair, I told them, you know what, I'm upset right now, but I've been doing like business with you guys for like 4 years now, and it's the first time out of like, I don't know, maybe like 50 webinars, maybe more than that it actually didn't work out. So not the end of the world either. So it's always about keeping your cool, accepting what you can control and accepting what you cannot control, and decide to take action on whatever cards you are able to play. And for those that you're not able to play, well, forget about those cards. They're not in your end. That's over. So I wish we had like better cards on that day. Didn't happen. It's life. Have to go on. However, the webinar replay is still pretty good. So you just have to skip when it turns blank, but then like 3 minutes later, you're going to get it. So you can watch the webinar replay at moosemarkets.com/webinar. And there you go. So I hope that you have enjoyed this episode. I hope that you will enjoy this webinar, even if we have like a small problem here. And even Moose is telling you to do this. So now it's time for me to have a walk with my dog. So I'm going to let you go. Have yourself a great weekend. And until next Monday, until we talk again, don't forget to stay invested. Hey, welcome to the disclaimer. If you're listening to The Moose on the Loose, you cannot really expect me to give you buy or sell recommendation or financial advice, right? You're here for fun, you're here for information and some entertainment. But I am not your financial advisor, I am not your broker, so therefore I'm not liable if you're losing money after listening to the podcast. If you're looking for some advice, go see a professional. If not, you can enjoy this show and do your due diligence after it.